Hello, everyone. It's been a while. This is the recording of episode 50. We've been taking a break and working on other things, but Kumaran very wisely recommended that I do this recording and at least make sure that momentum keeps going. Uh, Welcome, Kumaran. Kumaran is the CTO and Chief Mentor for Tiny Magic. And the topic which we want to discuss today is how do you prepare for a high visibility launch, right? If you have an internet facing application, consumer facing application, or large scale usage is expected, even internally to within a large organization, you have a big launch where a lot of expectations are being set and there is huge hype around that launch. How do you actually prepare for a high visibility launch? Kumar, why don't you share your experience? And first of all, what are the questions you would ask in such a situation for this preparation? What would you do to prepare for such a launch?
I think most important is what is most important, right?
Mhm.
I understand from the business what's the one very important thing that we are trying to achieve, the intention. Okay,
Mhm.
not a specific goal, but the intention.
Mhm.
Customer should not be disappointed. The
Mhm.
end user should feel happy like
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Keep that as the understand the intention, and then after that understand what are the basic goals.
Mhm.
So what I call is we need to zoom in so
Mhm.
that you become more confident. If you want to if you have a large circumference and you want to secure the whole circumference, and
Mhm.
in something like this it becomes very difficult, because when you say large audience,
Mhm.
large thing, it is so wide that you don't know what is coming, who is coming from where. Like if I say I'm going to have 1 million users coming in, I don't know what these million users are. The
Mhm.
variables are too much. Is he from local? Is he from a village? Is he from a city? Is it with a high speed? Is it with the mobile? I don't know that. So the variables become so much, right?
Mhm.
So in that case, what I would have to do is, so it's like a lot of people are coming and attacking me. Now I have to reduce my surface area of attack. But then
Mhm.
I have a big application, I cannot reduce the surface area of attack.
Mhm.
So at least I should be able to say this part of my application is bulletproof.
Mhm.
Okay. Like I have 50 features in my application. I can make two bulletproof.
Mhm.
98 will be weak.
Mhm.
Now I have to understand I have enough time and bandwidth to keep
Mhm.
two components, two features up. Which two features I have to work out? Okay. And that is the key thing. Now that two features which I cannot be told by the business, because they have no idea of which feature in the technology piece is strong, or it's only the architect who will know that.
Right.
If you ask the business, they will think from a business perspective what is it, and they will give it.
Mhm.
And maybe that two components you cannot actually make it bulletproof.
Mhm.
That's why to understand the intention is more important. Then the tech team can actually say, hey, you wanted feature 1 and feature 5, right?
Mhm.
But for your intention, feature 3 and 4 will do. I will do
Mhm.
some tweak. It will meet
Mhm.
the need.
Mhm.
Like for example, uh, let's say I'm launching a big mega retail site.
Mhm.
Okay. And for that retail site, there are a lot of people going to come in. Okay.
Mhm.
And I want them to log in.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm afraid that because it's a new launch, I will miss new users.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, if I have a mobile application,
Mhm.
okay, typically we open a mobile application today.
Mhm.
Netflix, which boasts of great user interface,
Mhm.
horribly sucks
Mm-hmm.
You take a Netflix application, you can't see what movies they have inside it. They'll say, first you log in, then I will let you see what movies I have. I mean, they supposed to be the thing for user interface and recommendations. You
Right.
won't even let me see what movies you have. I have to create a user ID password.
Mm-hmm.
And that too, I have to create a subscription itself. I have to pay to see what movies you have got.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually check whether uh, I mean, this was some time back. Now I'm, of course, a Netflix thing. In fact, like for close to 2 years, I didn't become a member because they didn't let me see what movie they've got.
Mm-hmm.
They actually, I mean, with for all the, huh, I think it's pretty much the same. It's not changed.
So Netflix doesn't let you see
Just go to
anything.
netflix.com, you will find that. What other
Mm.
movies do you have? You can't see that. It's
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah. I remember you gave an example earlier of how Hotstar does it.
Huh. Exact opposite.
Yep. Yep. You need it. It simply throws up an email address login.
At least Prime Video is a face saver. They give you a 30-day free trial. ठीक है. Okay. But I think you still have to enter credit card stuff. Why? Why are you making the application life miserable for everybody? The tech team's life is miserable. I mean, I just want to see what movies are there, right? Why do you want to create? So this is a classical issue. You've just shot yourself into the foot. Anybody who walks into Netflix should be a registered user. Why have you got? Okay, so for example,
So
in this case,
this is just in the defense of Netflix. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They, it is like giving it's like a gateway or a control valve for them, right, to be able to manage the user experience, right? For example, means, of course, from from the marketing perspective, it makes sense to let people see what is actually available, right? So even before they buy, right? So that's what you would want to do. But from the technology perspective, let's say I need to be able to scale my system, right? I need to protect the users who are already inside the system. If I get attacked more by all these anonymous users who are not paying for the content and other thing, I am not able to serve my actual paying users. So that is a sort of a control valve to prevent collapse of paying users. Just to,
I don't know. As an architect, so the intention is what? The ones who are paid, keep them safe. Okay. The ones who are not paying, I want to isolate them. Okay. So I mean, that too in today's world, you have two separate environments, one for the anonymous and one for the cloud. You got so much of CD and stuff. And it's not that on this thing, right? Now, this is where you say, okay, what do you want? The new guy who comes in, I want them to see what all we have. First, let them decide what all they want to have. No, menu ko dekhne ke liye, why do you need to come and sit in the chair, and why do you need a waiter for it? You are telling, oh, okay, I need to assign one big table. Hand the menu when they're outside the restaurant. No, why do you want to make them create a table, make them sit, assign one waiter, and then give the menu? They just want to see what. In fact, if you look at it, a lot of good restaurants put the menu outside, and it's very popular in US or in US and Europe, right? In India, we still don't have that culture. You got to walk into the restaurant, sit down, take the menu to see what food is available. Most of the people put a menu right outside. You have a look at it. This is what you want to eat. Please come inside, or Vaisai, just keep walking. Why doesn't Netflix do that? They should be doing. So, point I'm trying to get to is, so I have this huge thing kind of a thing. So I can say, if it is anonymous users, I can do how much ever I want. Okay. And it is not like an anonymous user means I will lose him also. I mean, there are a lot of sites which do that, right? You go there, you keep shopping, it keeps adding to a cart.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, when you say checkout, it say now you sign up to complete that. So
Right.
till that period, it can be an anonymous. You use the mobile browser's cookie to keep your state.
Right. Right.
You have sustained that interest for such a long time. Then you take him to that secure place where it is
Mm-hmm.
needed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm saying from the login get go, from the first thing he has to be an authenticated user, it becomes a very expensive solution. So, but
Mm-hmm.
so that let's call it the cached thing or the scalable thing, it is
Mm-hmm.
much easier to design one or two rather than 98.
Mm-hmm.
And that one or two can be something which is, if it's cacheable, so that's where the tech person needs to come.
Mm-hmm.
What can I use CDNs for? What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
What is the work that I can push to the customer's machine
Right.
itself? Like, can I get 50 JSON and then you can just use a JavaScript to browse it?
Yes. Yeah.
And that entire JSON can be CDN'd, which
Right.
means the load on my server side comes.
Mm-hmm.
So in a retail thing, I just want to flip through what are all the offers that is there.
Right.
Once I made my mind, let me come there.
Mm-hmm. Right. So from protecting the environment perspective or preparing for the launch, what you're saying is you need to work on specific areas which is important for the business, and also identifying those areas quickly enough from the technology perspective, right? What those areas translate to in terms of what APIs you are going to protect, how you are going to secure it, and so on.
Yes, and I think it's specifically it's about wanting to
Mhm.
zoom in to the need
So when
rather
you,
than
yeah, so I think maybe we need to elaborate a little bit on this zoom in and zoom out concept, right? So when you say zoom out, you mean to say see the bigger picture, see all the dependencies, see where the how the world looks, etc. Right? When you're talking about zoom in, you're talking about looking at specific areas which can actually be improved. Is that what you're looking, the way you explain it, or?
in yeah, you are correct. Okay.
Mhm.
But I'm actually telling something very counterintuitive.
Mhm.
We always say look at the big picture, look at the big picture.
Mhm.
But because we look at the big picture, we miss the small picture and we make life miserable for everything. So I'm telling because we have this thing about we need scale at business or users or something, that we are operating at a scale out level that we really don't know the details and we don't operate on that. So when we actually try to go land the plane, we find that finally the runway is not there.
Right. Right.
Okay, because when you try to land and you go down close to the ground, you are finding that there is no this thing.
Right.
Okay, so when I say zoom in, I'm telling of the big picture that you have, what is that one component where the CTO or the business can actually stand up and say, this feature will run come what may.
Mm.
One thing, let
Right.
it be the home page, I'm fine.
Right.
But can you say that, the home page will load without a problem for 1 million users? It will
Right.
just say, hi, hello, user. Thank you for coming to my website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
If you want, please add these. So it can be something like these are the top offers. Of these, is there 10 products which you want to pick? If there's something else that you want to pick up, okay, click here. And it says, okay, give me your email ID so I can send you a coupon code. Can you do
Right.
this? Zero server side code. You can do this for 1 million users. But can somebody put up their hand and say, with confidence, I can do this? Which means you are giving something to the user. He got a 50%, 60% discount on some product.
Right.
Okay, so he's happy to do that. For that discount, he's happy to give you email
Right.
or his phone number, whatever. Okay. So you have acquired a customer. Now it's up to you to convert it.
Right.
You don't need big technology to do this.
Right.
So that's the thing which I'm talking about.
Right.
Getting clarity on. So I will offer this value to the customer.
So I think it's better to sort of focus on those things, and we can conclude this discussion for now. and say this zoom in is the thing which you need to look at for such big launches, right?
Yeah.
Zoom in to things which matter, and you cannot address anything and everything before a launch, right? So you need to zoom in, prioritize and get to those final one or two things which you need to make it sure that the launch happens successfully.
And zoomed out is always a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it is a, and zoomed out is a much bigger problem because the human mind tends to think that you're losing opportunities if you don't zoom out.
Yes.
I will tell you, as a software, I mean, as a startup, right? We used to be afraid, like when we started, we will say, okay, HR thing I will do. There's a thing which had to be done for finance, I will do.
Mm-hmm.
So when people come and ask us, we are very afraid to say, I am this guy specializing in this, which is a zoom in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As a performance improvement or a transformation company, I can do transformation anywhere and everywhere.
Right.
So we were always telling that, I'll say, if I say that I transform only this, like I say I'm transformation of a finance, then
Mm-hmm.
I will lose. Sales guys won't ask me for a program. But the
Right.
fact is, when I'm at that level, nobody asks me anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a lot of courage to say I'm a digital transformation. I help
Mm-hmm.
teams do technology transformation.
Right.
Then people start connecting to us. So basically, I did a zoom in. So it
Mm-hmm.
actually gives much more benefit because I can give a clarity to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I can specifically offer to them. They know specifically what they can get. So the
Right.
traction becomes very strong. When that is at
Right.
a, like, I am there to transform your life, transform your team, make you all well, healthy, wealthy, and happy. How will you make it? We don't know. Once we start the program, we will tell you. We have to get to the specifics.
Right. Right.
How will my team know that they will get benefit? Oh, well, it depends on the team and how much they are doing. I won't give any concrete answer to anybody, not because I don't want to, because I don't know. It is at a zoomed out level. You're asking me, is the runway color gray or dark gray or black?
I
I
cannot
don't
even
know.
see
I
it.
am
I
at
cannot even see
50,000
it.
feet. Even
Right.
if I want to, I cannot tell it.
Right. I think that is very good advice. I think people should start looking at such things for getting the outcomes which they're looking at. And zoom out is good to find opportunities, but once you find opportunities, you should zoom in. That's the and don't keep zooming in and zooming out. Once you get focus and you get zoom in, you execute until that thing is done well.
I one easy thing is, if you are worried,
Mm-hmm.
if you're uncertain,
Mm-hmm.
don't zoom out, zoom in. What you need to do is zoom in. I
Zoom
think
in.
that's a signal. When you're
Yes.
worried, when
Mm-hmm.
you're uncertain, zoom in. You'll get
Right.
more and more clarity. It'll become more and more stable. But we tend to do the opposite.
Right. I think that's very important in the software world. What you call as anti-pattern, right? So this is a common anti-pattern which we see across when trouble starts. We start looking everywhere and zoom out, right? And say, let me address everything. When you address everything, basically you're addressing nothing.
Yeah,
So
correct. True.
so thank you, Kumaran, for this great advice, and hope people enjoy listening to us and subscribing to us. If you have more questions like this, we will be very happy to engage with you on LinkedIn, on Facebook. We are not on Twitter, it is too toxic there. So so we are just on LinkedIn, which is a little bit more civilized. Please uh, uh, subscribe and talk to us on the LinkedIn page. We'll be happy to listen to you. Thank you and see you next time.